Today we will learn about data types and variables, which are fundamental topics in any programming topic. Every day we upload a lot of data to the internet. Thinking about the Facebook, you upload a lot about yourself, like your age, your name, current job address, and so on. And we share a lot of data also, and a lot of meaningful information, like the connection, interactions between people. And there are a lot of data like that. But one interesting question is, what is the data type of such information? Thinking like, I am 52 years old. 52 here is a number. We call it an integer. The integer here is the data type of this number. Or like this baby is 20.7 kilogram. We again consider 20.7 as a number. But we call it here a floating point. The difference here, it always involves this dot and this fractional part. You can think also in a word like computer. We call it a word. We call it here in Python string. You can think of something like what is your gender, male or female. So status of two things. We call that Boolean data type. So these values that we have in our real life, and we give them our names. Also the programming language give them some name, and it is a data type of them. So when I am saying I'm uploading a variable of value 52, I'm referring to an integer. To 12.7, I'm referring to a floating point, and so on. So this is what is a data type. There are a lot of data types in Python. The three major ones that we will focus on them on the early days of the course is the integer, which is just normal integers. The second one is the floating point numbers, which has the dot, like 12.5, 10.5, 200.0. So 200 by itself is an integer. But if you put 0.0 is now a floating point. The last thing is the string. The string can represent any sequence of letters like hello, world, 2000, 3000, some other non-English names. It can involve anything that you can write. It can involve spaces, underscores, dashes, digits, whatever. The Boolean data type is one of the interesting data types in programming languages. It usually represents something that consists of two things. You can think of them as always true or false. If the male is true, then we know that female is false. If you have a coin, the coin can be head or tail. So again, two statuses only. Computers understand only zeros and ones, on and off. So on is true and off is false. Python has a lot of data types, but for now we're going to focus on the numeric data type, specifically the integer and the float, and also we're going to focus on the Boolean for the beginning. Then we will learn more about the other data types. One interesting thing here that if we have information and we store it in computer, like 55 for my years old, we need to refer to them in the memory. So while we need to put this information somewhere, like let's say in the RAM, we need to refer to them. And this brings us to the idea of variables. To introduce that, think about the memory like streets. If I say like I live in 37 John Street, we know that 37 is some position in a street that is named John. So, and there are information about the people here, like say people have types like male, female, there are child, and so on. So the memory is something very close to that. The memory have boxes. Each box have a location like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each box has some name. For example, age, weight, gender, name. And it has a value. 55, 92.5, male, Mustafa, and so on. So overall, age equal 52, the name is age, we call it also identifier, the value is 52, the data type is integer, and so on. That's all for today.